Good evening, everyone. So, I've decided to share a quick FYI message for you, real quick. Now, we know, for those of you that check in, that this is a channel I've created, and my name is Lafayette. The name of the channel is Make It Make Sense, right? But I suppose one thing I probably haven't been that clear about just yet is, who am I? Right? Like, who am I? Am I just some random guy that decided to make a page and, come on here speaking about all of these different things? So I've decided that it's time I'll share a little bit more insight about who I am. Right? So yes, of course, in this particular incarnation, my name is Lafayette. But that's this vessel. Now, as I speak a lot of times about a lot of things, I try to help everyone get the awareness that we are not humans first. We are divine souls having a human experience. We are from the spirit realm. We are from the heavenly realms. And we come here in order to gain experience and for growth and development, expansion and all of that through the various different ways that only physicality can provide, right? So, who am I outside of this physical being that's known as Lafayette? Well, I'll give you a little background. So, who I am on the other side of the veil is I'm actually from the angelic realm. Now, I don't know how much awareness you may or may not have about the different layers and tiers of the spirit realm, but there are a variety of locations and setups. We can call them different houses that different spiritual beings originate from, right? We're all not from, like me, for instance. I just stated I'm from the angelic realm. I'm actually a cherubim. I'm from the angelic realm, and I'm from the particular part of the angelic realm where the cherubims are. Now, you do you a little bit of research, you can find out what a cherubim is, but that's just one of the tiers that's in the spiritual realm of where divine beings come from, and they are tasked with certain things. That was the whole purpose of that particular creation, or these particular creations, is that we are all tasked with different duties and responsibilities, right? And I am from the angelic realm, and I'm from the cherubim line, right? So right now, what I would be considered as here on this planet is an earth angel. Now, once again, like I said, you have a variety of different spiritual beings that come from different houses, right? So right now I am what you would call the earth angel. Maybe you're familiar with the terms like star seeds, way showers, light workers, so on and so forth. Like, we all are from the same spiritual environment, but it's like we from different neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? We all were created in whatever sections in the heavenly realms for whatever missions that we were ultimately going to be tasked to do. So I just wanted to give a little background of the what and why, so that maybe me speaking on the things that I speak on will resonate a little more clearly if you have an awareness of where this type of information is coming from. Now, I've put up some videos on my page where I explain, I have one where I call I died for a day and met God. This was still in my slumbering state. I hadn't come back to my full awareness of who and what the spirit, the soul inside of me was. I was still kind of unaware with that. And then I have a couple more videos that I put up where I'm speaking about 3 angelic encounters that I had with some of my soul tribe members. One of them was my uncle, and his name was Knight. I spoke about that on the video where I was talking about when I had my second accident, my car accident, and I crashed into a pole, and my uncle was there with me and walked me through it, and he gave me an awareness that, all is well, and that what I was currently dealing with and going through was for some upgrades that I would be receiving. Now, at the time, I wasn't 100% sure of what he was speaking about. I just knew that I got through this crazy situation once again without so much as a scratch or bump or scrape on me. You know what I'm saying? And slowly it started, clicking inside that there's a lot more to me than I initially gave myself credit to be. And that's another thing that I'm coming to terms with and becoming more comfortable with, is actually allowing the world to know and understand, this particular level of my being. Because I never wanted anyone to look at me or call themselves trying to hold me in any type of esteem, feeling like I was, either higher up or more loved or anything like that. Like, I never wanted to be viewed just based off of my soul's resonance and location, right? So I had a real hard time. I would always downplay, the who and what I am. And I really barely ever chose to share, information with people about this particular level of my being, because once again, I didn't want people pursuing or coming up in my energetic space, for the purpose of feeling like, I was something above or beyond the next person, which I'm not, because we all are divine beings of Mother, Father, and we all are one. Yes, we come from different locations, different neighborhoods, like I said. We all come from different neighborhoods, but we all are soul sparks, like fragments of Mother, Father. You know what I'm saying? There's no, this level is higher or this level is lower, or they're more over here or they're less. No. That game, that doesn't play over there. We all are equally one. Now, yes, we have different locations because as creation, was taking place, certain levels were being created in progression. And so some were created before others as a natural progression of things. But at the end of the day, that doesn't change the fact that we are all brothers and sisters of mother, father, and there is no hierarchy like how humans think of it. There is no like, oh, we're here and you're there or anything like that. Like, we don't deal with any of that type of nonsense. But I did, because I'm coming to learn that I should not have to deny my true essence because it may make some uncomfortable. I am that I am. And I should not have to deny that particular aspect of myself just to keep others comfortable around me. Right? Like, example, you know what I'm saying? When Brother Jesus came and he started moving through the world and he was proclaiming that I and the Father are one, and so on and so forth. And the world, they had a fit. A lot of people, lined up with that, like, oh man, okay, cool. That's beautiful. But others were, oh, blasphemy. What? How dare you? You know what I'm saying? Place yourself as one with the Creator. You know what I'm saying? Like, off with his head. And so I think that this thing, well, I know that it runs generationally. Like, I've come and incarnated on the Earth planet multiple times for various different reasons and in various different seasons. And so in my DNA, there's a strong awareness to kind of hide who and what I really am because of past times where anytime it was found out or people became aware that you had some kind of magic to you, which is not really magic, it's just the way the universe is set up. But according to humans, because they're still vibrating on such a low frequency of operation, it seems like magic to them when it's the natural course of things in the divine realms. That's just how it is. But here on planet Earth, it has been made to be like magical because they were vibrating in such a low frequency. So the things I share are not of my own. And y'all get a chance to be a witness of how this thing actually worked. Because even though I've been awakened to the fact of who and what my true essence is outside of human form, the human side of me still tries to get me to not share this particular information or light with the masses for, like I said, those past memories of those past lifetimes when we were shunned and we were slaughtered and all kind of horrific things were done to anyone that the world found out was different than what they considered a regular human being should consist of. And so as I'm moving along and progressing with, fully trusting and tuning and being back to my truest and most divine, authentic self, these are things that I have to bring to the table. Like, there's nothing for me to be ashamed of. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I was speaking about Brother Jesus, when he moved around this world, there was no shame in his proclamations of, yeah, I and the Father are one. You know what I'm saying? Like, but he also continuously made the awareness to people that anything that I do is not of me. It is of him who sent me. You know what I'm saying? It's of my Father. And so, like, getting people to not want to worship or place him in esteem above theyself as if he was more than they were, because none of us are more or less than anybody. The only difference is some of us have awakened to higher levels of awareness of who and what we truly are outside of these suits. And so now when we move around in the world, people can see it. They can feel it. You know what I'm saying? And they can understand it because we've tapped into that soul frequency that's inside of all of us. Like I said, the only difference is those that are actually vibrating higher to where it resonates out to people around into the world, and those that haven't learned how to tap in to that God aspect within themselves, so that they light will turn on all the way on and start shining out too. And so I'm saying that to say, I just wanted to share this because, you know, it's time for me to fully embody and embrace my true divine essence. And I'm here on assignment. That is the whole purpose of a Lafayette, me in particular, being here this round. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm on assignment. I'm not here on vacation. I'm not here just, because I wanted to pass some time or whatever. I'm here on assignment because this particular season that we're in, there is a great, great, great shift that's going on. And a lot of us souls, excuse me, a lot of us souls that were on the other side of the veil received a call from Mama Gaia for assistance, prior to our incarcerations. And we volunteered prior to coming into these bodies. We volunteered to come and assist Mama Gaia with grounding in more light into her body, and to help ground more light into the human consciousness and awareness, to raise the frequency of the planet and raise the consciousness of the planet. And how we do that is by grounding our light into the grids and the nodes and all of those things, in order to give humanity a real opportunity to make this shift. And so that's the what and the why about the experiences that I speak upon when I talk about things in my video. I'm not just a low vibrating soul that just happened to be lucky and receive divine assistance along my path just cause. No, that's not how it works. I've received that assistance in order for me to gradually come back up out of my slumber and remember who I am and why I am here. And so now that's pretty much where I'm at. And like I said, I'm a very, 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 very humble person. I don't care for a whole lot of attention and energy, and it's never really done anything for me. I've never been that type of person. Like, I don't play for the crowd. I'm fine being in the comforts of my own space, maybe around some family or friends that we all have a mutual love for, and that be that. But it's the season now for me to start giving people an awareness of these things so that they can understand that these type of realities actually do exist. And like I stated in a previous video of mine, the last thing I would ever do is come on camera and make up lies in the name of Mother, Father, God. Like I'm not the one to play that type of game. You know, I understand how things work, and that is definitely something that I personally would not play with, you know. But and that's that. I ain't gonna speak on anything or anybody else. Just me personally is something that I'm not gonna play with. So who is Lafayette? I am an earth angel. I come from the angelic realm. I am a cherubim. I was gonna say cherubim. It all depends on where you at in the how you enunciate things, but cherubim, most people are familiar with it phrased like that. And so that's who and what I am, and that's why I can sit here and reveal the things that I revealed and speak about the things that I speak about, because I have tuned back in to my divine essence, and thus I'm back in communication with my soul tribe, my guardians, my oversoul, like the angelic realms, any and all beings of divine light. I once again have access to if I so choose to engage with those energies. And in that exchange, it's like kind of like I was like a sleeper agent. You know what I'm saying? Because I forget. I promise you, I could have never, I could have never in a million years imagined that I, Lafayette, was an angelic being sent down here in human form on assignment. Never. But the reason, I don't know 100% yet the exact reason, but what I do know is I was asleep for a long time. I wasn't made aware of my true divine heritage for a little over the first half of my life, and I was still moving through the world like everybody else, you know, in darkness and engaging in things and whatever for whatever reason. But ultimately, I understand that, as I stated before, when said powers that be gains an awareness that certain energies have manifested in a physical form, they do everything in their power to try to attack and kill that spark before it has a chance to fully realize itself. So that's what I'm believing, and what I understand at this point is, in order for me to not be removed from this system so quickly, I had to come like undercover, you know, and blend in. I had to blend in. I had to look and appear like everyone else. Otherwise, the attacks on my spirit, my soul, my physical self may have been like 10 times, 20 times worse than what was already going on. And so, you know, Mother, Father, they are blueprint masters, and they understood way better than I had the capacity to understand until a time such as now, where I'm ready and I'm fully engaged with the divine source again, to where now these attacks or things like that can't really manifest into my reality, because I've blossomed out into my fully awakened and aware self. So now it's pretty much game over. Like y'all missed that. Y'all didn't care. I slipped through. And so now, you know, it's light work. So I just wanted to share that with y'all because, people, they don't understand that, you never know. What was the saying? It was a saying that I love and I've always loved it. It said, be careful when entertaining strangers because you might just be in the presence of an angel. And that always hit with me. You know what I'm saying? That's why I was always mindful of the way that I engage with people along my journey because it's real. You know what I'm saying? You never know who is inside of this suit. And we here. There's a lot of light beings, a lot of spiritual warriors here that came here specifically to be here at this particular point in time to help raise the consciousness of fallen humanity and to help raise and help Mama Gaia evolve into the highest version of herself and to ground these energies in to assist, you know what I'm saying, with Mama Gaia's ascension. And so I just wanted to share that with y'all. Just you never know who's who unless you know. Like signs and symbols are for a conscious mind. It became real hard for me to stop even denying. Because at first, when I first started coming into awareness, like, yeah, you from here for real, and you this set up and this your lineage, and you actually, and I'm like, man, hold on. No, like, yeah, me? Like, man, I'm in the mud. You know what I'm saying? Like, how that can't be me because I'm in the mud. But, like I said, as I moved along, it's like, well, that was the only way to keep you protected until the appointed time to where you can come back fully into the awareness of who and what. And then you can do what you came here to do, which is spread this light. And so, hey, that's what it is. I just wanted to share that real quick. So this is why I can speak about the things that I speak about, and I understand and I know the things that I know is because I've tuned back in with my true self outside of this human suit. Because I am not Lafayette. I am Lafayette this round. I've been a lot of names in past versions of myself, past lifetime. So we just need to understand that we all are divine sparks of Mother, Father, God, having human experiences for growth, development, expansion, and to assist our brothers and sisters who have fallen along the way to remember their divine essence also. So I just wanted to share that with everybody. But that's who Lafayette is. I am one of the workers for the divine. I come from the angelic realm. I'm a cherubim. And I'm here on assignment. So that's why I set up this channel where we make it make sense, because that's what I came here to do. I'm here to help. And I love each and every last one of y'all. And let's go. Peace.